Hello, everybody, and welcome tonight here to Oxford Plains Speedway for the Oxford 151, presented by Team 151 here in the Crooked Line Racing League. My name is Zach Wetstein. I'm here tonight with Tanner Marr. How you doing tonight, Tanner?
I'm doing good, Zach, and I just noticed we have a little bit of a tongue twister tonight for the Oxford 151, presented by Team 151. So hopefully we don't have to say that too many times tonight because that's going to be a slip-up one.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of those where I read it before I said it to make sure I didn't slip up. We got your race info here, Oxford Plains. You see, it's just as much of an oval. You know, we talk about oval racing in NASCAR. This is as much of an oval race surface as you're gonna get.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just you're looking at a perfect circle here, Zach. I mean you really don't have much of a straightaway here, and when you do, you're never going to be full throttle here either because the track is so small. It's very unique. It's going to be a tough race.
It absolutely is. 151 laps here tonight. 85 degrees is the track temperature. It's not even sunny out, but it's still pretty hot outside or hot on the track. So we'll see if that track temperature builds a little bit even more once these cars run on top of it. So we are in qualifying as of now. Everybody should be qualified that is able to, anyways. Trevor Edwards on the pole and Jason Day in the second position. We're going to go ahead and talk to Jason Day, who's actually won the last two races in a row.
Let me get him in here real quick, Zach. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Jason, this is Zach and Tanner in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead,
Well,
guys.
sorry. I thought Zach was going. Like Zach just noted on, I mean, you're Mr. Two Time here coming here tonight, and I mean, you know the rules. You win, you go to the back the next week. Is there a more tougher track to go to the back to than Oxford Plains?
Probably not. I didn't play that win out very well last week.
But like, I mean, we hit on it every week. These league race wins, Jason, they're so hard to come by. If we could pick and choose when we got them to base on the next week, I mean that'd be awesome. But you know, those two wins in a row, that's gonna be a tough feat for anybody to match. I think.
Hoping I can get up there and go for three, but I doubt it'll happen. I just want to stay clean tonight.
Going into the night, Jason, I mean, you know, no matter what, you put the car second on the board if you was to qualify up front, and I mean, you know, you're going to the back, so you know you have race winning speed if you base that on qualifying. What's the game plan tonight? You got 15 cars that are going to start. I think we just had another one join 16 cars. What's the game plan for you tonight here, if you have one?
Stay clean, be patient. It's a long race. Hopefully, there'll be some stuff happen in front of me if I can stay clear of that and maybe gain some spots in attrition before the halfway and see how it goes. Just hoping I can get into the top five maybe.
Right on, Jason. Well, we have about a minute left. I think we're going to go ahead and get you sent back over to your race team. Before we let you go, you got any sponsors or shout outs you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, of course. Thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. Five Kings Motorsports. Check them out on Facebook. Butt Kicker, MF Designs, Maconi Setup Shop, and just thanks everybody for letting me race and having a good time.
There you have it, Zach. That's Mr. Two Time right there, Jason Day. Or excuse me, Jason A. Day. He's our Canadian of the group. He's a good guy, and he's going for Mr. Three Time tonight. See if he can go three in a row.
Yeah, good luck tonight, Jason.
You guys.
All right, Zach. I mean, you heard it. It's Oxford Plains. This is not a track anybody's looking forward to, but it's kind of like one of them Bristol dirt races when we're up in the booth. You know, like we look forward to it, but I'm not too sure these drivers look forward to it.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely one of those things. Like when I had to race Bristol Dirt, I wasn't looking forward to it, but when I had to broadcast it later that week, I was more than fine with watching a race. So absolutely, this is a tough track. You mentioned how they're not going to be full throttle at all, really, around this track, and it's going to be an exciting one for us, tough one for the drivers. And we just talked to Jason A. Day, who Mr. Two Timer, but he's still not in the lead in points, even with that. Zach Murphy has that points lead, only 13 points over him, and And just like last season, that last race at Martinsville is going to be a double points race. So a 13-point lead right now is okay, but you want to try to build a bigger gap over second place before then, because it's a little bit tougher once you get to that double points race.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Zach. And I want to hit on something you hit a while ago, talking about the track temp. 89 degrees, and that's only going to get hotter. This track, if you look around, they don't have lights here at this track. So we scheduled this for a late morning type race because that's the best that we could do. And so what's that mean? That means in real life, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it gets hotter outside. It's going to get hotter outside right here in Sim. So this track, I mean, we're at 89, 88, 89 degrees right now, Zach. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that get up pushing close to 100 when we get near the end of this race, 151 laps.
Yeah, 88 degrees right now, the track temperature you can see there on the right side. And here is your grid for tonight's race. Trevor Edwards gets that pole spot, and we just talked to Jason Day. He'll be moving to the back, trying to make it 3 in a row. We'll see if he's able to do that. Ken Zeems qualifies third with Thomas Flanagan fourth. Tyler Catalano qualifies fifth with Matt Zaccardo on his outside in sixth. P7 tonight goes to Tyler Johnson with Christian Pittman in eighth in that 8 car. P9 goes to Zach Murphy with Jeff Paisley starting this one in the 10th position. Joseph Segala is starting this one 11th with Brian Bianchi in 12th. P13 goes to Tommy Dunn with Steve Sexton on his outside in 14th. Frank Barbary in 15th with Timmy Catalano starting on his outside in 16th. And Brandon Pietrel, or Peartle, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that name. He's going to be starting in the final position in 17th here tonight. We'll see if some of the drivers who didn't lay down a time, Brad Carpenter, Brandon Metler, see if they're in this race. Thomas Flanagan as well, we'll see. Right now, Thomas Flanagan, Brad Carpenter, and Brandon Metler are not gridded up. And as you see, they're about to roll off. And neither is Tyler Johnson, it looks like.
Yeah, Tyler Johnson throughput, and what that means for the ones at home. I know his mom Teresa watches for him at home, and Mr. Johnson, I think Tyler just disconnected from the server, so hopefully we see him come back pretty quick.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate. You get to qualifying, you qualify, you sit through, well, tonight the hour and a half of practice, and then you don't end up being able to start the race on the grid. So that's a bit unfortunate for Tyler Johnson. So right now with that, we have 16 on track, which is probably way more than enough for a track like this.
Yeah, if you're starting in the back, if we ever go to single file restarts here tonight, which, I mean, spoiler alert, we probably will, Zach, them guys in the back, they're going to be getting close to the leader just on the restarts. This is not a big track, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about almost a quarter-mile track, then you're going to have to be. If it's a single file restart, you're going to be starting near the leaders and on the wrong end of it. As the green flag is out here, our leader Trevor Edwards gets out to a successful jump and keeps that lead. And one thing you don't want to be is side by side here right now. Through lap 1, Thomas Flanagan on that outside line, now on the outside of Matt Zaccardo.
You're absolutely right. You don't want to be on the outside of here tonight at all. We made the track have about 50% wear in it, meaning it does have a little bit of grip in it, trying to help these drivers out. But this will be a single groove track as you'll ever see because, I mean, there's no real fast lane around here, but you better be on the bottom to cut the track as small as you can with it when the track's already small. Another thing, Zach, I want to hit on, we gave the drivers extra fuel tonight, so maybe they won't have to fuel up. They should be able to make it with about 20 gallons of fuel. But if you notice, this pit road, it's very, very tough to enter. So you got to watch out for a pit road mistake here tonight, too.
Oh, and that is not one place you want to be, is under that curbing. Christian Pittman there in the 8. He's in 7th right now. He had to go under that curbing along with the driver behind him. I'm not sure who it was, but thankfully both of them get back on track without any problems. And another thing about this track that you see, look in the turns, no wall. You just go straight out into some grass. So if you wreck into that grass, not only is it going to be tough to get traction because of the grass, but, I mean, you could spend a couple laps out there.
Absolutely, and it's hard to tell by looking at this view that we have, but there's actually, it's a pretty good-sized hill right there when you go off the track. And like you said, traction, these race cars are on slicks, so they try to go up the hill, and you can be out there in no man's land way longer than what you want to be. That's for sure.
Right now, kind of a two-car pull away, not by much, but Trevor Edwards and Ken Zeems there running 1-2. Zach Murphy, our points leader, we talked about, sitting in the 6th position. He started this one 9th, so we talked about how tough it could be to pass, and he's already made 3 and looking to make another one here in Tyler Catalano.
We're 9 laps into this race, Zach, but these drivers, I mean, you got a driver like Zach Murphy. Like you said, he's leading the points as you go into the cockpit view. I love this shot. You're really getting to see the drivers work right here. I mean, it's a short track, but they're really working that wheel. They're constantly fighting looseness, and they're constantly trying to make the corner and make it as fast as they can. But to hit back on the points, like Zach Murphy, he's leading the points right now. The winner of this championship this season gets a free game or 2 from Butt Kicker. That's about a $200 piece of sim rig equipment for free. So we normally say that they're not racing for a whole lot, but they're racing for quite a bit right now. So the stakes have been up in that category for sure.
Yeah, last season when we were racing for the championship, that was the narrative, was you're not racing for anything but your pride. And, well, this season, that's not the case. You can get a $200 piece of equipment for free. Obviously, you have to earn it. It's for free because you don't have to buy it, but how much you have to earn it, how well you have to do in the season is basically paying for that butt kicker. So Zach Murphy right now, like we said, sitting in the 5th position after making a pass over Tyler Catalano, trying to be consistent, trying to put himself in that position to not only win a championship but also win a butt kicker.
I love that cockpit cam right then, Zach, because you saw Zach in the 29, Zach Murphy there. Anytime he's turning that wheel right, he's fighting looseness. That car's stepping out on him, and you would think at a short track like this, you're going to be calm and collect with the wheel, but no, you're working that wheel. These drivers, I promise you, they're going to be tired after 150 laps of constant left turn because you're never, ever straight. You don't ever get time to rest. Your feet's constantly in motion because you don't just go full throttle. You never get to rest your foot. This will be a tiring race right here, 151 laps at Oxford Plains.
Oh, absolutely. Christian Pittman just made a pass over Tyler Catalano as well. He started this one 8th. A lot of smaller movers, but that's all you're going to see. That's all you're going to see at these really short tracks are small movers, and that's what we have. A lot of 2, 3, 4 position movers. I don't think we have anyone up more than that right now. But we're only 18 laps into 151 laps, like you mentioned, so a long time to go for drivers to make up those positions and try to get into that top 10, top 5, maybe into the lead, as Ken Zeems right now about half a second back. So we're not going to see a pass for the lead anytime soon, but Ken Zeems, Thomas Flanagan in the top 3 right now, just trying to work their way towards our leader and maybe make it a battle.
Absolutely right, and you know it, Zach, and what I'm about to say, you know it's true. These leaders right here, at some point, really fast, they're going to be contending with lap traffic. Now, does lap traffic move over and give them the right of way? They should. Racing ethics says you will, but they don't have to. They're fighting for something too. They want to be on the lead lap. Why? Because they got a competition caution coming at lap 50. 30 more laps. Sounds like a long time away, but man, we've been here what 5-6 minutes and we're already 20 laps in, but we have a caution on the track somewhere.
Oh, Joseph Segala, he is around in turn 3 and 4 for the first caution here tonight. 23 laps in, a nice run there to start the race.
It was a very good run. I wasn't expecting that. As I hear Tommy Dunn, he's a really respectful driver. He said, "I'll take the EOL there." So we're about to see exactly what happened here, Zach. It looked like the curbing came into play.
Let's take a second look at what happened here. Coming out of turn 2, and then, the 81 checks up and nowhere to go for him. It technically is his fault, but tough when you're right behind somebody and they brake a little bit sooner. And not by a lot, but just a fraction of a second earlier than you do.
Speaking of that curbing, we saw the 81 machine go over the curbing to come back on the track. If you hit that just right, you'll get a 2x for contact too, Zach. Something to do, I don't know if iRacing thinks there's a wall there, if you're actually getting damage from that. I guess you're getting damage from it. But look, he just comes in, just breaks a little bit earlier than what Tommy was thinking was coming. And look at that. Jason Day, did he get a piece of this? I think he's going to make it by okay, but that's not what you want to see out your windshield, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. You do not want to see a wreck right in front of you at this track for sure. As That was the first caution of the night. Trevor Edwards still your leader, and that'll give these drivers a chance to take a break and before they have to go right back to making turns. And like you mentioned, the front stretch, back stretch, they're not very long, so you're turning almost really the entire lap, and that can get pretty tiring when you go on those longer green flag runs. As I'm pretty sure, and I would assume that nobody pit there, maybe other than the drivers that wrecked, but even then.
You don't need a reason to grab the
Sorry
DQ.
about that.
Sorry, Zach. I was handling stuff with the race control, but I got some drivers not happy about this track choice, and I understand it.
I wouldn't be either. Cannot blame them.
I don't know who put the schedule together, but they need to lose their privileges. I wish somebody would take their privileges away, actually, Zach, you know. I wish somebody would.
We're going to line back up here 2x2, which can always be dangerous at any track nonetheless, but especially here. They were able to do it successfully the first time around, but cautions can breed cautions, so we'll see how well they manage this one. The green flag is out. Trevor Edwards is off, and the green flag back out here at Oxford Plains Speedway. Thomas Flanagan makes his way up to that second position ahead of Ken Zeems.
I'm hearing drivers say check up over the radio. I'm looking throughout the field. I don't see nobody. But I think Ken Zeems is trying to play it smart on these restarts. I've watched him twice now on the outside. He plays it kind of slow. And what he's wanting to do, he's wanting just to not even have to battle anybody on the outside. He wants to find a hole and get down immediately.
Oh, wrecking behind him. Frank Barbary, I believe, is around in a big, maybe not a pileup, but everybody just trying to get around it.
Yeah. You would think, Zach, with no walls, hey, it'd be easy to dodge a wreck. Wrong. You come up on these guys, you're still going about 90 miles per hour at this track, and when a wreck happens here, I mean, you're on top of it before you know it.
I don't believe it starts with Frank Barbary. It is ahead of him. Yep, two cars get together up there. Trying to tell, is that Brian Bianchi in the 14?
Yes, it is. Brian Bianchi in the 14. Christian Pittman in the 8 actually skated by with the skin of his teeth right then, barely.
Going into turn 3.
It looks as if he's loose right there, Zach. He's trying to gather it, and then I think netcode caused that, but they were going to hit anyways.
Yeah, I'm not sure an EOL needs to be assessed there just because it looked like two drivers coming together. It looked like, yeah, you said the 14 got a little loose, came down, and the 1 maybe came up a little bit and a little bit of netcode. So we'll see if they hand out an EOL, but for me it looked like just a simple racing incident.
Tough break for Jeff Paisley in the 7 machine. We talked at length today about how he's had some good runs. I mean, he's run really good since coming over in the 5 Kings, but he's had terrible luck as of late. As we see a car actually going through the grass back there. I'm not sure what happened there, Zach. It looked like Frank Barbary. But yeah, Jeff Paisley, he can't seem to shake the bad luck, and he actually got caught up in that accident right then. But as we know, I messed up when I set this race up. They got 255 fast repairs, so nobody should quit this race tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, no excuses in this one. If you get wrecked 254 times, well, you still you got that 255th, right?
Right. I tell you what, if I get into the 200s on the fast repairs, I'm gonna call it a night before I use the last 50.
Oh man. And I mean that's a case right there. If cautions breed cautions, you get these guys grouped back up on this small track, and everybody's fighting for every inch they can, and two drivers get together there in a racing incident and brings out our second caution.
I think our biggest mover thus far, Zach, is Timmy Catalano in the 22 machine. I'm not sure what the side of his car may say, but it says 22 on iRacing. He started 16th, and he's worked his way up to 8th. I don't see nobody else that's made that big of a gain.
Yeah, that's the 22 machine. As Trevor Edwards, once again, your leader and control car. The green flag is back out. Another fantastic jump for him, and it looks like we're going to be seeing this every time they restart. It looks like we might see a swap in position for second because that inside line is just so much better.
Ooh.
As contact between Zach Murphy there and Matt Zaccardo.
Yeah, I thought we were getting ready to have an incident up front. Like Zach Murphy's just trying to get every position he can because it's so hard to pass. So these restarts is your opportunity. You have to go for it, Zach, and you know that. You're a racer. You have to go for it. If you're at a track where you can't pass, you get lined up double foul. If there's a guy on the outside, you have to go in a little bit harder to try to make that pass, and that's what Zach Murphy did. And ultimately, he made it stick, luckily.
Yeah, and this is a track you really don't want to pinch somebody down too much because then you'll pinch them into that curb and it might wreck both of you. So I think that's a case of what we almost saw there, and Zach Murphy eventually makes the pass on Thomas, or it was Thomas Flanagan, sorry, not was it, or was it Matt Zaccardo? I
Yes,
can't remember.
it was Thomas Flanagan.
Thomas Flanagan, okay. So he makes the pass on Thomas Flanagan for that third position, but Thomas Flanagan maybe has more speed because he's all over the back bumper of Zach Murphy right now.
But that just goes to show, I mean, Thomas Flanagan, he restarted second when that restarted, Zach, and within 2 laps, he was already fell down to 4th. Not a big fall, but I mean, losing 2 spots on the track is tough to pass. That can hurt you in the long run. That's hard to overcome.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt as much if you only lose 1 and you sit in 3rd, but when you start on the outside and lose 2 positions, that means that if another caution comes out, you'll be starting right back on the outside line in the 2nd row this time. So, yeah, it hurts less when you know that you'd restart 3rd on the inside line. So I think we're going to see him try to get back to that spot as quickly as possible in case a caution comes out.
You're absolutely right. We have a competition caution coming in 7 laps, 6 laps this time by, or 7 laps this time by actually. But yeah, lap 50, and so yeah, if you're Thomas Flanagan right now, you don't want to have to come back and restart on the outside lane. Granted, you don't know how pit road's going to shake out, but you want to for sure be an odd number instead of an even number.
Yeah, whenever you see yourself on a even number at a track like this, you're cringing a little bit when you know a restart's about to happen. And like you said, in about 5 laps, we're going to see one. And he gets a little loose. Thomas Flanagan does. But
We
he
have a
saves
car
it.
off in the grass somewhere.
That's Brian Bianchi's in the pits. I'm not sure if it was him.
Yep, his wheel disconnected from his thing, from his sim rig.
Well, that's a bummer.
That's what I'm hearing right now. It's almost positive. That's what I heard. He said I went to turn left and I brought the whole wheel with me.
Oh, wow.
That's a tough break for Brian Bianchi. I've actually had that happen to me. I built my sim rig and I've jerked my wheel off. Not even being reckless. It just popped off.
Well, that's bad news for Brian Bianchi, but good news for whoever's watching for Tyler Johnson. He's not racing just yet, but he is in this race session. So we'll see if he's able to be released here soon out on track.
I think they actually brought him in race control.
Oh,
He's part of
okay.
5 King.
Okay.
I'm sure they texted and he said just bring me over to race control. So Miss Johnson, if you're still watching, that's why Tyler's not out there right now. He's helping us out up here. As we're coming to the competition caution, it's lap 50 now. Race control should throw it pretty quickly.
And Thomas Flanagan wants that caution to come out because right now he's ahead of Zach Murphy. He makes the pass. So the last lap possible for Thomas Flanagan to make the pass, he's able to, and he's going to restart 3rd on the inside line.
Well, I threw the competition caution for them. They didn't. I don't know if they were talking or what. Come on, guys. Get it together.
3rd caution of the night, but obviously this one just the competition caution, as Trevor Edwards has led every one of them. And with this caution out, we'll go ahead and take a quick look at your schedule. We haven't looked at that tonight. Next week we head to Phoenix Raceway, so a little bit more room there, you'd say.
That open dog leg at Phoenix where they can go all the way down to apron. I wish we had the real version of Phoenix on iRacing because restarts would be even crazier, but that's going to be one to watch next week.
Yeah, Phoenix always puts on a good show. Doesn't matter what car you're in, street stock, NASCAR, these Wheel and Tour modifieds, it really doesn't matter. It's a fantastic racetrack, and I'm looking forward to it. But obviously a long way to go here tonight. We're just now under 100 laps to go in the Oxford 151 presented by Team 151.
You read it before you said it, and you're a poet and you didn't even know it. Good job. Sorry, I'm childish.
No, we're all childish, at least a little bit inside, right?
Right, have to be. Gotta have fun with life. Did we? You know what, Zach? And this may be a topic that we talk about for the rest of the night. Did you see anybody go down pit road? I didn't see nobody elect a pit.
No, and I mean, I imagine with the fuel, if you are able to make it, we shouldn't really see anybody down pit road unless it's for damages, because I don't think fresher tires are going to really even mean anything here, because it's such close quarters and the turns are so close together. Not much straightaway to try to set someone up for a pass. So I don't know if tires would mean anything, because I don't know if I've even ever raced here, but I imagine at least when you're up front, you cannot go down pit road.
Now, I know I heard multiple drivers saying in the practice session, I only did a few laps just to try to set out, get a little feel for it. But I heard drivers, they were talking about that tire fall off was extreme. I guess because you're constantly leaning on that right front, because, I mean, you never get straight here. You're constantly turning that wheel left. But like you said, how much does fresh tires pay off if you still can't get around the guy in front of you, you know?
Yeah, we saw Thomas Flanagan. It took him a long time to pass Zach Murphy. He actually got loose himself, but he eventually did make the pass. He's restarting in third right now, but it took him a while to make that pass, and imagine having to pass then 14 or 15 people like that, so it can be tough. As the green flag's back out, and wow, Zach Murphy.
Zach Murphy. We both saw that.
Yeah, he purposefully didn't go off too fast because he wanted to sneak into that inside line, and I'm sure drivers behind him did not appreciate it. Oh man.
Yeah, that was pretty ballsy right there. You gotta make sure you cross start finish line. I can't really call it because it happened so fast, but yeah, that was pretty ballsy. As you see, don't look now, but Jason Day and Christian Pittman have both worked their way back up towards the front. And I mean, Jason Day took the EOL at the start, Zach, so that's a developing story.
Yeah, if you get an EOL for changing lanes before the start-finish line, as Zach Murphy's around. Caution. I was about to say I'm a little worried for Zach Murphy if you do get an EOL for changing lanes before the start-finish line, because he absolutely did. But, he gets an EOL anyways, I guess, because this wreck's going to send him to the back. Went a little too forward.
Yeah, the drivers wasn't happy about that move off the start, but I can't blame them. But
he got loose.
Ooh, he just gets loose, chases it.
And man, with it, I mean, with such short straightaways, it was loose down from turn 4 to turn 1. Man, just a tiny amount of contact got his car loose, and it would not stop getting loose. As that'll be our 4th caution of the night.
I know they've had some green flag runs, but we get another quick caution like that, and we see people making dives down on the restart like that, at what point does Racing Show say, all right, we're nipping it right now, we're going single file? These drivers got to be aware of that kind of stuff, doing them kind of moves, because, I mean, that was really risky, and there's quite a few drivers, not even just Jason, but drivers that were behind him that didn't really like Zach Murphy's move right then. It's hard for me to say if I would have done anything different, because, I mean, we see you got to get to the bottom, and there was a hole there. He got there, so.
Yeah, I don't blame him for trying to get to the inside, because, like you said, that is the place to be, but definitely risky. Definitely, you make a bigger chance of contact being made. So,
Right.
Got to be careful when you make that move.
But like I said, in his defense, there was a hole there because he fit. Now, whether Jason Day had to lift to let him fit or whatnot, I can't judge that. All I can say is Zach Murphy did make it in there. But, man, it was close. It almost created a pile up.
As we're going to line back up here 2x2. So at least one more restart of 2x2 restarts. We'll see if they're able to get a better jump here and a longer green flag run so that they can keep these double file restarts. As the green flag back out, Trevor Edwards has dominated this whole race. He's held that lead. He's going to have to do it once again. Thomas Flanagan, we saw him make a pass on Zach Murphy. He has a fast car, and he's to the back bumper of Trevor Edwards right now.
Yeah, and he got a really good restart that time. It wasn't like he tried to lay back or anything. He fired off with Trevor. Trevor got a magnificent jump like the leader normally does. But Trevor's had great jumps all night, but that allowed Thomas Flanagan to fall right in line and not actually lose any spots fighting on the outside.
Jason Day, Ken Zeems behind them. Ken in third, Jason in fourth. Christian Pittman rounds out that top five. And, well, you see battling for sixth, so that top five is really pulled away now from the rest of the field, as you see there for the battle for sixth is Tommy Dunn and Timmy Catalano. We're seeing that 63 right now. Tommy Dunn on the outside battle really well.
He was one of the drivers that stated in practice that this is a terrible track, and not terrible in the sense that it's not a good track. He was saying that it's terrible because he was afraid it's going to be caution after caution. But to see him fight alongside on the outside is actually pretty impressive. As Jason Day, just actually got into the curbing a little bit. But Zach, I think it helped him out. I think it helped him make the turn better. But you can't try that too many times because eventually it's going to bite you.
Do not test your luck. We're going to do maybe a little bit of an onboard here with Jason Day. You see, you're just kind of stuck behind him right now. And, I mean, he's on the back bumper of Ken Zeems, but just nowhere to go with it because Ken Zeems is on the back bumper of Thomas Flanagan.
Zach, if I can make a request, can we go to the, instead of the gyro cam on the cage, can we go to the cockpit so we can see him working that wheel?
Yes, sir.
Let's see, as the tires of where you see he's turning that wheel. He's cranking it right now to make a corner. So that's showing that the track's actually tightened up a little bit. I'm going to check the race or the track temp. I may have put my foot in my mouth. It may have actually gotten cooler.
83, yeah.
It has gotten cooler. I could tell by the way he was cranking that wheel that you had one of two things. Tires were starting to wear out, or the track had a lot more grip in it. That's a good camera view too right there. It shows the bumps and whatnot, the character of the track. You see that left
How close
front.
you are to the curb.
Right, yeah. You can reach out and skin your nose on the curb if you're not careful.
Oh!
Ooh, as Ken Zeems is getting loose in the 90 in front of him. He is still loose, Zach, trying to gather that car.
That was scary news for Jason Day for a second there, as we almost thought that there would be a wreck. But Ken Zeems is able to keep the car under him, and actually a caution does come out for a different reason. Big, big pile
wreck.
up here.
How do you end up on your roof here?
Oh,
It had to
man.
be the curb. That curb had to reach out and grab somebody again. That's been a gremlin all night. I'm going to place a bet now, Zach.
All right. Contact.
Is that Zach Murphy?
Oh, no, it was. The curb might have assisted, but it was definitely because they got hit in the back end.
Yeah. It wasn't no curb. I would have lost money right then.
Yeah, Zach Murphy.
Ooh.
And then I'm trying to tell who the other people are here. Frank Barbary. Let's see who that was. The 81, Joseph Segala. He's on his roof. Let's go here with him to see that hit that caused him to get onto his roof. It's hit in the rear end by the 29, and he blinks out there, but there you see. 29 of Frank Barbary makes contact to the rear and sends that car on its roof. I believe there were about 5 or 6 cars a part of that. Steve Sexton, Tyler Catalano, Joseph Segala, I believe Jeff Paisley was as well. Maybe Timmy Catalano. I don't know if I said his name or not, but at least 4 or 5 cars caught up in that.
And, I think race control, it's pretty black and white right now. I think Zach Murphy, unfortunately, he'll have to get the EOL. He'll take the ride for it, and that's the second EOL of the race. That's going to be a pass-through penalty for Zach Murphy there, Zach. Too many Zachs in here.
And with the pass-through, that's going to be under green, so that's multiple laps he's going to lose. And he's our points leader right now over Jason Day, but it's only a 13-point lead, I believe, 13 or 14. So he's going to go a lap down, and the worst he could be right now is 13th, which and the best obviously Jason Day can do is win. He's in 4th right now, so this could really make it an interesting, or even more interesting for the points battle for the lead. But you know, there's still a lot of race to go, and well, our points leader Zach Murphy is still going to have a lot of chances to get back on the lead lap if he does get that pass.
I didn't see no EOL given out right then. I'm not quite sure. Race Control came over and said something, but I couldn't hear him. I'm baffled at that call.
Yeah, he's right there racing right now with Matt Zaccardo on the outside. Matt Zaccardo loses that battle, so Zach Murphy up to the 7th position, and Tommy Dunn ahead of him in 6th right now in the 63. He's our biggest mover through this race so far through 83 laps. He's up 7 spots, started this one 13th.
So he's a good mover right now as well. So, I mean, it shows you can pass here, but it's a task, and you not only do you have to be fast, but the guy in front of you, you either have to get into him, move him, or a mistake has to be made.
And I got to tell you, Trevor Edwards has dominated this race, led every lap, but the race for the lead is not anywhere near over with just under 50 laps to go. Looks about 44, 45 to go, and Thomas Flanagan definitely has a car that can beat Trevor Edwards. It's just about, is he able to execute a pass for the lead, and Trevor Edwards might need to slip up a little bit for him to make the pass.
I mean, he's there now, and like we've been talking about with the EOL, it'd be rough to be running second, try to move the leader up, because maybe what it takes, Zach, you may have to use Dylan Hart's quad. I didn't mean to wreck him, just meant to rattle his cage a little bit. May have to do a bump and run, you know, but that's a risk. What if you bump and run him and you dump and run him instead, you know?
Yeah, you do not want to dump and run, that's for sure. As you see, Thomas Flanagan makes it pretty easy to know who's in that car. He makes it simple to know if Flanagan's in that car.
Ooh, gets into the curb a little bit right there, Zach.
As we are already to lap 90 here. Competition caution at 50, so that's the only caution tonight that will be scripted. So, I mean, technically we could go the rest of this race without a caution. It might be tough just because of the toughness level of the track, but just saying, there's going to be no more scripted cautions. So if you can get the lead right now as Thomas Flanagan, you got to do it while you're at the back bumper of Trevor Edwards, because you're not for certain that you'll have another chance on a restart.
You're exactly right, and I mean, Thomas Flanagan, last 2 laps around, has been faster, but you can be a little bit faster, but you're never gonna make any ground up here. You gotta be quite a bit faster. But right now, he's doing the perfect job. He's intimidating Trevor Edwards. I don't care what Trevor says. I mean, we say it every week. His mirror is full, and he's seeing that Flanagan right now on the front of his car in his mirror. And at some point, I mean, that can cause the driver to make a mistake, whether you're a veteran or a rookie or in between.
Yeah, I mean, if Trevor Edwards is able to not make a mistake over the next 40 laps or so, or 60 laps. I'm used to our regular race lengths. But yeah, if he's able to not make a mistake over the next 55 laps or so, that's going to be impressive, because Thomas Flanagan right now is all over the back bumper.
He is. He's right there knocking on the door, and you see that throughout the field, actually, though. I mean, there's some separation between guys, but Jason Day, Christian Pittman, they've been right here with Ken Zeems, and then you got Zach Murphy in the 29, and I'm pretty sure that, yeah, Max Zaccardo in the 60 machine. So, I mean, they're all kind of nose to tail, a little bit of separation between them, but they could just be biding their time, waiting for a mistake, or that may be their race pace. What do I know? I'm up here in the booth, not on track. Ooh, I thought Matt Zaccardo was actually going to get into Zach Murphy in the 29 right there.
Some great battling going on throughout the field right now. No side-by-side battling, but very close racing right now between many drivers. Obviously, for the lead, you talked about Matt Zaccardo, Zach Murphy. You got really all the top 4. You see there Jason Day and Ken Zeems, they're close to battling for that 3rd position right now. So still a lot of cars that are able to keep in contact with other drivers. It's not as spread out as you might think.
You're exactly right. And when I was speaking with Christian Pittman, I mean, he's been a storyline all season that he's ran up front a whole lot, but he's had some bad luck. I think currently he's sitting like 11th in points now, right now, Zach. So what he's thinking right now, I know because he told me earlier, he's thinking big picture. He can go out of here with a top 5. Top 3 would be great. Top 5 would be amazing. You know, either one, he'd be fine with it. Right now he's rolling 5th, and still a lot of laps left to go. You got 50 laps left to go, so a lot could happen, but he's sitting pretty good right now. Ooh, as he's actually, I thought he was getting ready to look underneath the 52 machine of Jason Day.
Yeah, he almost had the chance to look under the 52 car because the Jason got loose, but I think Christian there, you just said, thinking big picture, and I'm pretty sure that's what he was doing there because he could have easily stuck his nose down low, but instead he checked up just to make sure that he wouldn't get caught up in a wreck with Jason Day getting loose.
And I know we talk about it all the time, but you're looking at teammates right there. And, I mean, you don't want to wreck a teammate. You don't want to wreck anybody, but you definitely don't want to wreck a teammate because we're in group chats together. We have team meetings together. And, I mean, it makes it can sour a relationship really fast if you wreck a teammate.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do is friendly fire. As we're starting to see Trevor Edwards on this longer run, he's starting to distance himself from Thomas Flanagan. So it looks like whatever he has in that car, it's meant for as Ken Zeem spins.
Ooh.
Down into pit road. I'm not sure that'll bring out a caution because that technically is off track, I would say. And yeah, he keeps that, or he spins that car back around straight, and we're going to keep the green flag out. And that'll move Jason Day up to 3rd, Christian Pittman to 4th, and Matt Zaccardo into the top 5.
Man, that's a tough break for Ken Zeems, and I'm pretty sure the 90 machine. That's a tough break, Zach, after be running up front. Majority of the race, he was running 3rd, I believe, and wreck. And when he wrecks, he not only wrecks, but he wrecks it down pit lane. iRacing don't acknowledge it, and because he's not on the racing surface, he's not a threat to anybody, and the caution never falls.
Yeah, now he's just got a battle to keep himself on the lead lap. As you see Trevor Edwards back there, I would say about 2 seconds behind him. So now he's just got to focus on staying on the lead lap just in case a caution comes out, and he can try to battle his way back into the top 10 as he's sitting 11th right now.
You're exactly right. And, I mean, it's been a topic of discussion all night. This is a Little B track. Ken Zeems, when he's entering turn 3 right there, he can see Trevor Edwards coming out of turn 1. So he knows he's back there. So now it's just a cat and mouse game. He's thinking, I can't let him catch me. If I go a lap down, it may not be catastrophic because he might get the lucky dog, but you don't want to risk it. That's a risk you don't want to take.
Yeah, that's a risk you don't want to take because if you get the lucky dog, you say the caution comes out right after he passes you, sure, you get the lucky dog, but now you got to start at the rear of the field behind even the other lap cars. So you'd much rather a caution come out while you're still in the lead lap and at least start in front of the lap cars. He would restart 11th if a caution did come out right now. But no caution as of now. And Thomas Flanagan, he is getting he's getting some action behind him from Jason Day as the 52 machine. He's trying to three-peat, and that would be some incredible racing.
You're exactly right. I mean, you start winning 3 races in a row, we're going to be talking bounty. We're going to be talking money at that point. And sidebar, as a joke today, I told Jason Day, you start in the back and you win this race tonight, I'll throw you $30. It was a complete joke, and we laughed about it, never thought it would happen. So as a team owner, I hope he does it. As a man, I hope he don't. But either way, win 3 in a row, that's pretty impressive.
But Trevor Edwards right now has led 116 laps, has not dropped one of them, has not dropped back to second in one of those laps. So utter dominance right now from that 32 machine, and that's still a little while to go. But when we talk about how quickly laps go by here, 15 seconds, really there isn't that long left of a race.
Oh, no, I mean, it goes by fast. You blink and you're at lap 150 taking the white flag.
Yeah, we're down to 33 laps to go now in this race for Trevor Edwards to try to cap it off, cap a great race off. Thomas Flanagan and Jason Day behind him obviously want to change that narrative, but, man, it's going to be tough right now. He has a 9/10 lead over him and is not showing any step down from that speed that he's had.
No, and I mean, we saw Thomas Flanagan. He was beating on Trevor Edwards' door earlier, about 15 laps ago, and I hit on it earlier, Zach. I think he may have used up his tires a little bit, but we have a caution down on the track somewhere.
Tyler Catalano was around, and he spun around the same spot that Ken Zeems did, but maybe a little bit closer to the track because it brought out a caution. It looks like we might have seen some of that curbing come in play. We'll see here. Absolutely. Maybe 2? Yeah.
Ooh, he said, okay, I didn't get the first time. I'm going to try the second time.
And, yeah, he was stopped on track more than I thought he was. He only spun it around onto pit road to get it grouped back together. So, yeah, I'd say that's a rightful caution. Was spun around and stopped on track. And, well, he did go a lap down, so he's gonna stay a lap down because we know Trevor Edwards is not going to go down pit road.
It's a tough break. That's a tough break to go down a lap here. And, you know, Zach, I'm going to applaud these drivers. Yeah, I think we've seen like 5 cautions. One of them was a scripted competition caution, like you said. And going into the night, I mean, I was, whoa, Ken Zeems. I'm telling you, Zach, it's a tough pit road to enter if he was trying to enter it. Let's rewind that back and see what happened to Ken here.
Oh, my.
Oh my God.
I think that was an iRacing glitch. If he touched the curbing here and it launched him, that was absolutely an iRacing glitch. Oh my goodness.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness. Let's slow this down and check out that marble that he hit apparently. I have no words.
Bro, we are all laughing about it right now.
I have no words at all for that.
Can somebody please explain what happened right then?
Wow. And that's very unfortunate. It's funny to us, but he's going to be stuck in pit road now. I mean, he's still down 61 seconds in his pit stall. So it's crazy, weird, and funny to us, but it stinks for him.
Ooh, as Trevor Edwards gets a great jump, but look who's going to close the door. Jason Day is going to try to get there. Thomas Flanagan didn't cut him a whole lot of room, but Jason Day said, no, sir, I am here.
Jason Day is here for second, and he's going to try to go win this.
Sorry, Zach.
No, you're good. Christian Pittman makes his way up to third, but not without some drama, as that was very close. And Jason Day has found his way to second, and he wants to win 3 in a row here and get that bounty on his head.
Man, oh man, that was awesome race right then. Thomas Flanagan, he didn't give him an inch, and he didn't have to, you know. And we talked about earlier, how far can you pinch that guy below you down? Because that's a risky game. You're playing Russian roulette. If they hit that curve, they're probably going to end up getting you too. But luckily, they had slight contact and kept it all 4 wheels facing forward, so no harm, no foul.
Matt Zaccardo, who was a part of that wreck earlier, I believe, when we had that big pileup, he's back up to 5th right now, so a great run for him. Jeff Paisley was a part of that as well with Tommy Dunn. I'm not sure if he was a part of it, but they're all inside the top 10 right now. And really, the top 10 is the lead lap cars right now. 11th place, Steve Sexton is outside or out of the lead lap right now, 1 lap down. So if you made the top 10 tonight, as of right now, you stayed on the lead lap, which can be a tough feat at a small track like this sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you've been involved in any type of incident at all, anything. I mean, Thomas Flanagan gets into the curb. I'm seeing a lot of drivers, Zach, they're really, really cutting these corners tight as Thomas Flanagan gets into the curb again.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of got to run that curbing as closely as you can, but then that happens. You can possibly hit it, and it can cost you a position or 2. Right now it hasn't, but you got to be very careful because we saw what happened on that last caution. If you hit it the wrong way and maybe twice, it'll spin that car around.
And I'm hearing a report that Zach Murphy, he's a driver to look out for. Zach, he actually took tires that last caution. We missed it because of the tomfoolery we saw with Ken Zeems flipping. But yeah, Zach Murphy took, I don't know if he took 4 tires, 2 tires, but I know he's on fresh rubber.
But only 17 laps to go. And mention again, we're only running 15-second laps. So, and he's going to wreck Thomas Flanagan. And I think that's going to unfortunately be maybe another EOL for him.
I spoke with race control. They didn't give him an EOL on the first one. In the second race, the second incident they said was EOL. We didn't get to really see it, but they said they dissected it. I was watching that battle though, Zach. Let's go back here and watch it. It's a tough call. He's there.
That's tough.
It's a tough call. It's a tough call. What do you do there if you're race control, Zach, and put you on the spot? You might want to change the camera before you answer. I'd go like above or something.
I'm going to decline and say I do not want to make that choice.
You're on the ball. You have to. If that's me, I'll put myself on the spot.
He did come up.
He came up. I got to give Zach Murphy the 29 machine the EOL. As much as I hate to.
I got to agree.
I fought the EOL rule for so long. I did not want to bring it into the series because I don't want race control to decide in these races because Zach Murphy is on fresh tires. But I think it has to be an EOL, Zach.
Yeah, he came up for sure. So I wouldn't blame you, and I wouldn't blame them if they do. We'll see what kind of call they give it.
I'm interested to see right here. No call's been made yet. They might let it ride because I was watching that battle, and I know a lap before that. And this ain't nothing against Thomas Flanagan. I mean, I'd say it to anybody. Thomas Flanagan didn't give Zach a whole lot of room when Zach got underneath him earlier. So Zach made us saying, okay, gloves are off. We got 16 laps, like you said. I'm on fresh rubber. I got to go.
So that'll put Trevor Edwards first, Jason Day second, Christian Pittman, he's going to start this one in third, and Zach Murphy in that outside of the second row in fourth. So Jason Day, if he's going to win this race, he's going to have to win it on this restart. I'm calling it right now. If we don't have another caution and Trevor Edwards is able to win this restart and stay on the lead, he's not giving it back, or he's not giving it up to anybody.
Ooh, you're gonna go out on a limb. We haven't done that in a long time. You're doing that. I like it.
If he wins this caution, we're going to be at around 10 laps to go, and so, yeah, we're thinking about 2 laps per half a second, so 4 laps per minute. So you're on, that's just, I don't think that's enough time. If you're Jason Day, Christian Pittman, if you're not able to beat him on this restart and make a pass within the first lap or 2, and a no caution comes out again, it's tough to see. It's tough.
I agree. I agree completely. Zach Murphy, race control has spoken. They delayed the caution 1 lap, so that's another lap gone. But Zach Murphy did get an EOL right then, Zach.
And that's going to put Matt Zaccardo in fourth, and Tommy Dunn, that actually is going to put Tommy Dunn in fourth. So he's still our biggest mover. He's up 9 spots from his 13th starting position and has a chance to get a top 3 here.
Ooh, as Trevor Edwards fires off quick, Zach. He must have heard you. He fired off quick.
Great jump for Trevor Edwards with 10 laps to go here at Oxford Plains Speedway. Jason Day remains in second. Christian Pittman in third. Matt Zaccardo making a pass over Tommy Dunn for fourth, and spinning behind him maybe Thomas Flanagan around once again. But he's off the racing surface, and actually he just tows that car.
I hate to say it for Thomas Flanagan. It's a tough break after running in the front all race as he just manually disconnected. But I'd like to see this thing go green as we see. Jason Day, he's there as close as he can get, but like you said, it's so hard to pass.
Yeah, if anybody's going to make me look like a fool, though, it's going to be Jason Day. Our first 2-time winner, or 2-in-a-row winner, I guess I could say. So if anybody's going to make me look like a fool for saying that, it's going to be him.
As you see, he's getting closer and closer. Jason's a really good dude. I don't know if he would bump Trevor. They're pretty good buddies. I don't know.
In my opinion, I don't think you can bump and risk it because these cars are just so, I guess I could say weak when it comes. Yeah, they're so on edge when you bump them that it just almost spins them right around immediately.
And I don't want to. I'm race control. I don't want to make that call tonight either.
especially with under 5 to go.
Right. Let's see Trevor Edwards. He said he's not even going to leave that up to discussion. I'm going to pull away a little bit as he's opened it up a little bit here.
Absolutely. Top 3 really pulling away from everybody else right now. That's third is Christian Pittman in the 8th machine. With 3 laps to go here at Oxford Plains for Jason Day to try to win this race, but Trevor Edwards has led every single one of them, and he looks to lead the last 2. As he's going to have to earn it, though. He has 2 cars behind him hungry for that win.
As we're coming to the white flag this time by, Zach.
Yeah, white flag is out before they can get a caution. White flag, 1 lap to go for Trevor Edwards, and now the battle's on for second. Here comes Christian Pittman, but he's not able to make the pass on him, or at least get to his inside. And that, I think, is going to secure that second spot up for Jason Day. Here comes Trevor Edwards. Checkered is out, spinning across the start-finish line. Trevor Edwards is going to win here at Oxford Plains Speedway. What a race from that 32 machine. Jason Day gets second. Christian Pittman gets third. Matt Zaccardo fourth. And Tommy Dunn secures that 5th position, securing the biggest mover spot. He gained 8 spots in this race. Frank Barbary not far behind. He finished 8th. He started this race 15th.
Really good race, Zach. I mean, 151 laps presented by Team 151. You can give him a like on Facebook. It's Joshua Sexton's real-life asphalt sprint race team. You think of sprint cars, you don't think of asphalt, but they do it, and they do a damn good job at it. As we see Trevor Edwards, this is his first race this season. Comes in, and he's going to burn it down. I will start getting our drivers over here, Zach, for us.
All right, we got Christian in here, so we'll start from third, and we'll go up the list. Christian Pittman, you got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, I got you.
Hey, man. Well, we talked about it kind of throughout the race, Tanner and I did, about how you were aiming just for consistent races, consistent finishes, top 5s, and you ended up getting a top 3. So, obviously, you want to win every race you can, but you can't really have a sore eye about a third-place finish. Take us through your race.
Yeah, I spun out on lap 23 and went all the way to the back, and I thought that was the end of our race. And I was patient. I got lucky, got behind Jason right after that caution. I was able just to pretty much follow Jason through the field. And, you know, we had a deal on the restarts with a little bit of working together to be able to maybe freight train a couple of cars and do some things like that to try to catch Trevor. But Trevor was the class of the field tonight.
I mean, you can't deny that, Christian. You're right. But like you said, you started third, or you started 8th on the grid, made a net gain of 5 positions to finish third, even though you said you wrecked on lap 23. So, I mean, that's a hard-fought way to come back. You're currently, I think, 11th in points. We talked about it. You said you're thinking big picture, all points. So, I mean, coming into Oxford Plains, lap 23, you getting a wreck. You finish this thing third. I mean, you got to be pretty satisfied with that, aren't you?
Oh yeah, this is probably my worst track on the entire game, and to be able to finish third, it was a pretty big deal for us. And you know, hopefully we'll have a better week next week and maybe get the first win of the season.
Well, we're heading to Phoenix next week, Christian, on this quote-unquote game you called it. So, going to Phoenix next week. That's going to be interesting. Before we send you back to your race team, Bubba, you got any sponsors or shout-outs you want to thank?
Yeah, my grandparents always, my girlfriend and my dad, and then Five Kings Motorsports for being my team, and then Butt Kicker, McConey Setup Shop, and MF Racing Designs. And sorry, Simulation, my fault.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, good finish tonight, Christian. I will be in talks with you. Good race, good podium finish, and we'll see you next week at Phoenix.
10-4, thank you.
Congrats to Christian. Now we're going to move on to Jason Day, who unfortunately for him wasn't able to make it a 3-timer. But hey, Jason, great race. You were able to get back up to second. Just take us through how tough it was to try to work through the field.
It wasn't as tough as I thought it was going to be. Everybody was pretty patient, and the guys were sliding up like I thought they would, and I was able to get my opportunities that I wanted. So it wasn't as bad as I thought, but it wasn't as good as I wanted.
I love hearing that, Jason. Just hearing that. I mean, you're happy for second, but of course you wanted to win. You wanted to be Mr. Three-time. Like, I mean, who wouldn't want to be? But I mean, buddy, you started this thing in the very back of the pack, pulling it up to second at Oxford Plains, going into the night. I mean, if you had to set realistic expectations on starting in the back, I talked to you a little bit, but give the viewers at home a little bit of insight. What was your expectations going into the night?
Probably a top, maybe top 10, like top 8 maybe. I didn't think I'd get any higher than 5th place was my expectations anyway.
Right on. I mean, you put it up to second. You didn't. It didn't take a pit call. Didn't take anything. I mean, you wheeled it up there. You showed that you had great race pace by qualifying second on the board. Obviously, you didn't get to start there because you won last week. Like I said, going to Phoenix next week. I know you like that track. I heard, so that'd be a good track for you. I mean, maybe if we went to 200 laps, you may have had something for Trevor. I don't know because he led all 151 laps. Dude was a rocket ship tonight. So I mean, all in all, second place. You gotta be happy with that, Jason, and proud to call you teammate and proud to be able to call it. Y'all put on a show tonight. Thank y'all for that. You got any sponsors or shout outs you want to throw out there before you send you back?
Sure do. Well, first I want to thank Christian. Christian drove me clean all night, and he kept letting me in. We had a little bit of a deal going, so I appreciate him not letting me get freight trained every time we had a restart. And congrats to Trevor for winning. Kind of feel like the Xfinity and or not Xfinity, but the Truck Series guys. When Kyle Busch shows up, Trevor shows up, takes away a win. But congrats to him. He was a rocket ship. Thanks to you guys for the broadcast. Five Kings Motorsports, Butt Kicker, MF Designs, McConey Setup Shop, and just thanks everybody for letting me race and putting on a good show. Crooked Line Racing too.
Absolutely, Jason. Well, congratulations on another podium finish. I know you're making the points battle really spicy. You're only I think 11 points behind Zach and for the lead, so you're right there knocking on the door now. So congratulations on the podium, and we'll see you next week at Phoenix, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, and finally our race winner here tonight, Trevor Edwards. Trevor, you got a copy?
Yes.
Well, Tanner talked about how it was your first race this season, and well, you come in and swoop up a win. So take us through how your car felt after leading every lap.
It was weird. It looked like Jason was way better, like through the center. I don't know what he was doing, a little bit different, but I just kind of focused on drive off all night. You know, if you get tight, you just spin the tires down the straightaway. If you're loose, then you 3/4 throttle it. Just trying to go back and forth and make sure the car didn't get too bad either way. You know.
Right on, Trevor. I mean, I give you a hard time. We go back and forth with each other, but I respect you and what you do out here. I mean, 151 laps. Nobody likes this track. I bet you didn't turn a single lap practicing, so you got to applaud that. I got two questions coming into the night. I mean, you put it on the pole, and that last restart, we hardly ever say who's going to win this race. But Zach came over and he said if Trevor gets a good jump here, he'll win this race, basically. And that was the one restart you fired off seemingly super fast compared to what you had been doing. Did you plan that to try to get that jump like that?
Yeah. So it depended on who's on your outside and who's behind you. If you want the guy that's in third behind you for the long run, you go late. If you want the guy on the outside to be behind you, then you go early. So I knew Jason was really fast, and I had known that Christian was letting him in. So I knew if I got a good jump, they were probably going to work together, and it was going to slow him up. And it just kind of fired off right that time. It was the inside, being the pole sitter, or not pole sitter, but the leader is just a huge advantage. I think Jason was better at the end for sure, but I knew if as long as I didn't make a mistake on corner exit, then that'd be fine.
All right, and then normally we only ask two questions, but I noticed this like around like lap 70. I know normally in these tour mods you try not to ever use any brake. Track like Oxford Plains, I thought you would have to use some. I noticed throughout the field guys' brakes were glowing, but I never ever saw yours glowing. Was you not touching the brake tonight? Was you just rolling throttle?
I run a really weird line at Oxford. I have in pretty much every car around here. I run really low down the straightaway, so I don't know if it's because the track's cooler, it has more grip or something. But on entry, I just back them way up, and I might be 10% brake. You know, just something in my mind, knowing that I'm on the brake, but I'm not really. And
Okay.
on the throttle, as soon as I touch the brakes, it's weird. I'm on throttle through the center, and then rolling on the throttle on the corner exit. It's a really weird kind of line that probably shouldn't work, but it does.
I mean, it obviously works. 151 laps, took the pole, won the race, led every lap, and I mean, you say Jason, you thought he may have been faster, but buddy, I mean, I watched you cover these guys all night. You had a little battle with Thomas Flanagan earlier on in the race, I saw, but it seemed like either he used up his tires or whatnot. But I was curious about that because I never even saw your nose set forward, so I knew you wasn't using much brake if you were using any at all. So that was pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah. I knew that like the first couple laps after restart, the car just wasn't good. I don't know if it because it didn't have tire heat or something, but like 3 laps into a run, it would get really good. And long run, I knew I was probably a little bit better than most, just because I was saving the right rear really. I mean, till like lap 125, I was never full throttle really.
Right, and a peek behind the curtain. So you build the setups for Marconi Setup Shop, and you can use promo code 5Kings, shameless plug. But so when we loaded in tonight, I went ahead and added 9 more gallons of fuel. So the setup was probably a lot different than what you originally built because I had to tighten it up a little bit. And that may be what you're referring to. I'm not sure. But setup felt great, but I just added fuel because I didn't want people going lap down because of fuel, you know. So, but yeah, overall, great race tonight, Trevor. Thank you for coming out. I love watching you come out because you put on a show whenever you do come out. Sucks when you lead every lap because then they got to hear you talk about it, you know, but that's all right.
If you don't take tires, you ain't gonna hear me complaining. Yeah, I ran a bunch of laps in the Super yesterday and just needed a mental break from them and decided to sign up for this last minute. So it was a good time. I hate Oxford with a passion, but it turned out pretty well.
I think everybody does, but we've been in here for too long, Trevor. You got any? I know one sponsor you got to shout out, but you got any sponsors or shout outs you want to throw out there real quick?
All the guys in race night tonight wasn't a caution fest like kind of expected. All the guys over at Five Kings and Crooked Line who put this deal on. It's a great league. It's a ton of fun. Maconi Setup Shop and the Total Advantage Academy. If you need super late model setups, hit me up over there.
I can tell you for experience, Total Advantage Academy. It's give me a little info about it, Trevor. 'Cause I know it's something new you just started.
Yeah, so Landon Huffman started the deal. We just kind of a lot of these setup shops will build something and then they don't send you what they're actually racing. Ours, we go in every week. We practice with the whole team, and everybody gets exactly what we're running. You can go look at the leaderboards this week. I think one of our guys is, I think Ryan Kuhn is fastest right now, and then our guy who's got like a 3,300 I rating, second fastest for the week. So I think we built a hot rod for there.
And I got accepted into that, but times just kept me from it. So I need to get in there too. Thank you, Trevor, for coming out. Thank you for building the sets for us. Shout out to Maconi Setup Shop for letting you supply the setups. I don't know if you're still affiliated or what with them. Not sure what's going on. But congratulations on the win tonight, buddy. And hopefully we see you next week at Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm still over there building with Maconi. It's just kind of taking a lot of time with this new super. But thanks, guys. Sorry to take all the time up. We'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, then, buddy. See you. Well, Zach, there you have it. I mean, 151 laps led. Class of the field right then. And actually, a class act in the interview. I'm proud of Trevor right then. I know he'll go back and watch this.
Yeah, great race from him. Like we mentioned, every lap led here tonight, as you see the final results there. And I know you just said a little bit of something there, but we'll send it back to you for your final results while these folks look at the final results.
I said a little bit of something. I was foaming at the mouth right then. I didn't shut up. I need to
You're
remember
good.
that. But yeah, I mean, like Trevor hitting that interview right then, Zach, and I worried about it all day. We're going to go into the night. Guys are going to be driving over each other. They're going to be driving over their head, dive bombing, and we really didn't see that. Maybe a couple times, you know, but all in all, I'm happy with the way the night was. Happy with the way the broadcast went. I'm happy tonight. I mean, I have nothing to hold my head down about, and I'm excited. Looking forward to Phoenix next week.
Yeah, overall, that was the biggest thing, was just not dive bombing. If you're able to make a pass without dive bombing, you are going to end up the best here tonight, not causing a wreck. So we didn't see that really. We saw some wrecks, but if you come into a race like this and expect no wrecks, well, you're have wishful thinking, I guess you could say, because that's just not going to happen. You're going to have at least a wreck or two at this track. So I was happy as well tonight. Great race. Honestly, with how difficult this track is, one of the better races they put on this season. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Phoenix, one of my favorite tracks to not only watch but race on. I just love that track. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to that open dog leg and these cars combined. Never seen that before. So hope you all join us next week for that race. Thank you for joining us here tonight. My name is Zach with Tanner tonight from Rebels Racing Network. Have a good night.